Hello, everyone. Welcome to Beyond Life Paranormal Research Podcast. I'm your host, Russell Reynolds. And my guests tonight are the owners of Epic VIP Events, the mysterious Mike and Sam Belvoir. Please welcome them on to the show.
Hey guys.
Hey, welcome to the show, guys.
Hey, thanks for having us, man.
Oh, you're welcome. I met you guys at Metacon. You guys have been pretty good friends.
It's been fun talking to you. We're both full of weird ideas.
Oh, yeah. So tell my audience a little bit about yourselves who aren't familiar with you guys.
Let me start, because before I met this gorgeous thing and married her, I was always into aliens. And I wanted to chase aliens for the longest time. And then after marrying her, she's kind of convinced me to be more of an interest in the other side, which has been an absolute blast.
What's the other side?
The other side, I don't care. Other side of the room, other side of the world. Just the other side's awesome, man. Does everybody know Ghost Hunters? I'm sure you do with the Taps boys. What really, after she gets me interested in ghost hunting, I swear I'm watching that episode where they're at St. Augustine, Florida, in the lighthouse, and they're looking up the lighthouse stairs, and at the very top, this dark mass leans over and looks at them. I was so excited, we booked a flight and went there. Of course, nothing happened.
Right.
But that did, I guess, really kickstart my.
That piqued his interest.
Oh my gosh, I went nuts.
So, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Russell.
So how did you guys start as far as the event type investigations?
Take over. Let them know, Sam.
So, well, just real quick, I've been in the paranormal space. I mean, my mom, God rest her soul, my sister, if she ever sees this, would probably disagree, but it's like we lived in haunted houses. I talked to spirits all the time since I was a little kid. Really got into it. Went back and forth. And then when I moved to Kansas City, I really dove into it. Mike and I started going up to Belvoir Winery. So as you know, Belvoir is not our real last name. It's just a stage name. That's why we just go by the mysterious Mike and Sam now, because he doesn't like being Mike Belvoir. But we started going around to different places. We go to New Orleans, we go to St. Louis. We just went off in different adventures. And I'm just going to be honest. One year we went to Ghost Hunts USA. No disrespect for the people who run the events, but it was not what we expected, because we had been spoiled by Amy Bruni and her strange escapes with Adam Berry, John Tinney, Greg and Dana Newkirk. They really spoiled us on how they ran an investigation, how professional they were, how they were engaging, and taught us to choose curiosity over fear, right? So then
they did. And it's really because it's called Strange Escapes, and a lot of people know about it, but because she brings so many different guests, and they're very easy to talk to, you can, as you talk to each one of them, you kind of get an idea what they do, and then kind of what we like. We kind of take a little bit from everybody and use it for ourselves, but we try to give them credit, because without being able to talk to John Tenney or Greg and Dana Newkirk
Correct.
or Chip Coffey or Adam and Amy, I wouldn't be here. They
Yeah.
really did pique our interest and give us a chance to get to know these other people and why they do it, how they do it. And it was exciting. It was fun.
And then we just fell into hosting events for Haunted Rooms of America for Leslie McDermott out of the UK. We did that for 3.5, almost 4 years.
Almost 4 years.
And then we kept going back and forth. It's a little challenging. No disrespect to him. It's just hard dealing with somebody in a different country trying to run events.
And a 6-hour time zone.
Yeah. When things happen at events and you just got to take it upon yourself. Right. So we decided, and we couldn't do all the experiments and things we wanted to do because we had to follow their structure. So we thought we kicked it around for a year or so, maybe a little longer. And then, I don't know, towards the end of last year, we're just like, let's do our own thing. Let's
just do it.
Let's host smaller venues, more intimate settings, more one-on-one with the guest, our parafamily, as we like to call them, because we treat them like family.
Right.
I hope they think we treat them like family.
What we try to do is we're not. I'm in it because I want to get a chance to talk to people. So we invite 16 to 20, maybe 24 people, break them down into, say, 3 or 4 groups where there's only 5 or 6 in a group. That way, Sam and I and our investigator, Erica, who is super good, it's more quality time. We get to talk to them, show them things, show them the equipment, let them use our equipment. And that way, they're just not a face in the crowd or just a number in the back. No, you come to our investigation, I'm going to make you work. You're not going to stand there and twiddle your thumbs. I'm going to explain equipment, give you something, say, let's go.
Right. And that's the way it should be.
I think so.
Yes.
The one hunt that she was talking about, we went on and they said there's only going to be 50 people there. It was at Edinburgh Manor up in Iowa. And we get there and there's about 140 people there. And they said, oh, it was a computer glitch, but we're going to take care of it. It was a, you know what kind of show. It was awful.
1 porta potty and about 30 below zero.
Yeah.
It was miserable.
It was that exciting night that we quit early.
I can imagine.
Oh, no, you can't.
No.
You can't. If this is a kid-friendly show, I cannot describe what was going on and how pissed off I was.
Oh, I bet. I did a house from the 1800s that didn't have heat in it, didn't even have running water. We've done a hotel that was like that in Rockport, Missouri. That was the same way, no running water. And it had no heat, roof leak, so it had a lot of dampness and moisture.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
But it's still, I mean, to some degree it's fun, but not with 140 people or so. I mean, maybe 10 where you can split up or 15.
Yeah, I really do. I like the one-on-one. I like the intimacy where you can just talk to people because I want to hear about your experiences. The more information you can give me from all these people I get to meet, the better I can make decisions. And you know as well as I do, nobody knows what's going on in the paranormal. It's guesswork. And half the people who think they're smart say this is a fact. Oh, bullcrap. It's a guess. So if you can talk to people and get information from what they've experienced, I can make a better guess. That's all there is to it.
Right. And that's why we're not professionals in this field, because you always learn something new every time you go out.
If you come to an Epic VIP event, it's not like a TV show. It's completely different. It's fun. It can be exciting. Depending on where you are, who knows what's going to happen that night.
That's awesome. So how long you guys been doing the event?
We kicked off our events in January of this year. And I would say we probably have 9 or 10, and all but one is sold out thanks to our loyal and faithful followers.
Yeah.
I think the largest one we have coming up is the temple in Salina, Kansas, which we're just thrilled to get back in there. We had such amazing time when we were there with Haunted Rooms. But
it was a fun place. It's a really, because it's a Masonic temple, the top 2 floors were forbidden by everybody to investigate. But the head Masonic man,
hi, Mark.
liked us and took us up there, it was an amazing place to investigate because that's where they did their secret rituals and did
Right.
all the secret ceremonies. So naturally, something happened that night. Actually, a funny story. It's on the 7th floor, and that is the top secret floor. So Sam's doing Estes, and she starts describing secret rituals. And Mark looks at me and goes, cut it off. I went, no, this is too much fun. So anyway, she described secret rooms that were there that no one knew about. And she described how they used them. And he was amazed. And now he's turned into a pretty good friend.
And he
and
does this really well.
And more of a believer than he said he ever was. So he's come to 2 or 3 of our events.
Yeah.
And God bless him. I love him.
Nice. Yeah, I'll have to come to one of your events sometime.
Anytime.
I love it.
Anytime. After some of our conversations, you should come.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd definitely be an interesting. I'll talk
It would be. It would be. Well, I got a feeling you could be like a great trigger object. I got a feeling the spirits would respond to you.
Oh yeah, I do. It's either
I
get
know they would.
cussed at, or like we have a running joke in my group where if across the spirit box, if it says Russell's an asshole, that's our inside joke.
I'm sure they meant it as a term of endearment, right?
I hope so. I mean, we had it at Waverly too when we were doing we were down on the first floor and we were running spirit box. Had the K2s on the table. I have a millimeter with REM pod and shadow detection, and they were actually all going off and coincide with each other.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
We had a
Did you like Waverly? Did you like Waverly?
Oh yeah, I enjoyed it.
Can I tell a funny story?
Well, we've been there a couple of times.
Yeah.
This last year was way better.
Way better. The first time I was there, it was petrifying on occasion. The second time, we were in one of the areas where they stack the bodies. It's kind of like when you pull them out in the morgue. And so I crawled into one of them, and I'm laying there with my recorder going, and nothing's going on. I mean, nothing.
It was quiet.
So very quiet. So I make this comment going, well, it's kind of dead in here. Oh, sorry, guys, just a play on words. I'm making a joke, right? So I get out of it. I play my recorder back. After I say, hey, it's kind of dead in here, a male voice comes on and goes, rude.
He didn't care for his joke.
Did not. I apologized profusely, but and then we tried again to see if we could follow up. Nothing, but it was kind of funny.
I think I knew who that was. That's that guy that hangs around the first floor. He's very grumpy.
It could have been.
He does not like women.
Oh, I know who you're talking about now because I encountered him the first time we were there with our friend Michelle Kubat and that group. Yeah. He was pretty hateful and grumpy then.
You might be onto something. Yeah. I totally forgot about him.
Same.
Yeah, when we were doing our spirit box session, there was 2 skeptics there, so we were letting the one skeptic guy ask the question. When it got time to come to the one female of the group, she asked something that said, "Shut up, dumb bitch."
Oh my gosh.
Oh wow.
And my one team member asked, "You like Russell?" "No, he's an asshole."
You got that one saved, I hope.
Yeah, oh yeah, I've got it on recorder.
I like it.
Because I'll run a recorder with the spirit boxes.
So how did you get started? I know this is, but let's learn about you too.
Yeah. What prompted you to get into this?
Oh, I lived in a haunted house when I was a kid. I saw my first ghost at 6 years old.
Oh, wow.
It was a full-bodied apparition standing in my doorway about 3 o'clock in the morning. I was sleeping, heard a noise, and it woke me up. Woke up, and here's this Civil War soldier standing in my doorway looking at me.
Oh, wow.
So I just took the blankets, put it over my head. It's not real. It'll go away. Looked back up. He was gone.
At 6 years old?
Yep.
I think I may have done the same.
Well, I was at 4.
You were at 4.
But I was talking to them, so I thought they were so real that it was just you just talk to them at that age. I mean, as they got older, the older people you could tell, it's so real. Like when I was in 7th and 8th grade, because it's like we always lived in a haunted house. Don't ask me why. We just did.
And then when I hit about, I think it would be about 11, 12, I would stay at my neighbor's house with their son. And their house was built in the 1800s. And we seen a little boy bouncing the ball against the wall. There was an old man that would pop up. He had hung himself in the barn
Oh, oh,
because his son drowned in the pond. And
oh. Did he blame himself? Is that?
that's what I think he did. And so after that, I kind of wanted to get into it and help people that were haunted like me that don't understand the stuff. Because it's not like they can call a ghost cop or something to come to and arrest a ghost or something out of their house.
Yeah.
So that's why we mainly do residential quite a bit. We'll do some of these paid ones, but we do a lot of residential.
I think we've done
We've done a few.
3.
Yeah.
A few. Should we tell them about? I can't give you all the details, and she could probably speak better. But there's a house we went to just over the weekend. They think there's a body possibly in the front yard, and it just so happens that we know a young lady that trains cadaver dogs. So she brought one and an experience to watch this dog work. But, but it did get a couple of hits in the area that Sam said there might be something.
Doesn't mean there's a body because it's well over 100 years old, but the remains of a cadaver is what they hit on. Yeah. So, which was, I had chills, especially when she just started digging at the first one, right where I said, I was like, holy ham and eggs. That just whew.
Right.
It's beyond the validation. It's just like, oh my gosh.
And it's exactly where Sam
it's history.
Felt.
It's history.
Yeah, it is history.
And there's nothing to mark a grave. And I think it's like, I felt like I was in an episode of Portals to Hell with Jack Osborne and Michelle Balashe out there at Ashmore Estates. Just That's what I felt. It was like, oh my gosh. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, see what we do on weekends. Yeah, never boring around here.
Right.
Yeah,
that's like my weekends too.
You live for that stuff, right? That's why
it's a passion.
That's why we do it. Exactly. Yeah.
I enjoy doing it. I've been doing it 30 years now. So.
Oh, wow.
Good for you. You don't even look 30 years old, Russell.
I'm over 30.
What, 32? You started when you were toddler?
I'm older than that.
That's okay. I got you both beat. So
that's like my dad. He goes out with us too, and
yeah.
You met my dad at.
I met your dad. Yeah. Enjoyed talking to him. He's pretty good. At the
Spirit
the one
Con.
up in
Spirit Con.
Was it called Spirit Con?
Spirit Con.
Yeah. It was a nice tight group.
Yeah. That was a good time.
It was fun.
Looking forward to April.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it too. Hanging out, KD and them will be there again. So.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Anybody else that you know of, like any kind of a name supposed to be there, or I have no idea.
I don't know. April hasn't really advertised too much yet. I think they're still figuring out details.
Yeah, because the one up north in North Kansas City. What was it called?
Metacon.
Was it called Metacon?
Yes, where we met Russell.
I mean, it wasn't exactly a Paracon conference when you can sell Mary Kay at it and side you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I know that's where he met you, but
it fills space and it gives people the opportunity. Yeah. It's about opportunity.
But the fun part was they had Andrea there, and they had Katie and KD, and they had
John
Zappis and Travis Walton,
and Rupert.
And Rupert, which I still trying to figure him out. You know, he's a mystery to me. But he's
pretty cool. He does great meditation.
He does. But it was pretty cool. But because we actually know Andrea, she was nice enough to invite us to breakfast Sunday morning before the event started. And I said, sure, not thinking, just, hey, it's good to see her. But when we get to breakfast, oh my God, there's John Zappis, who I really don't know very well. I've met him before, but never had a chance to talk to him. But in comes Travis Walton, sits right across from me. And Mr. Alien, let's get into it. I'm sure I pestered him enough, but that was my first chance to talk to the source, because you mostly you get your information on aliens through books or fifth-hand reports or news reports. I'm talking to a man that was actually abducted for 5 days. He
Right.
was super, super nice and told some really great stories. So that was the highlight of my whole conference, besides meeting you, of course.
Yeah, we got swamped when we went to Metacom because everybody heard John Zaffis' cousins were there.
Oh,
John, we
so
had, yeah, I was going to say we had breakfast with him, but he's a man of few words sometimes. He's funny,
Yeah,
but he don't say a whole lot sometimes.
no,
so
he don't.
who all are you related to? How does that?
Yeah.
Do the family tree for us?
I'm related through my dad's side of the family, the Reynolds side. My third great grandfather, Caleb Reynolds, is related to the Briggs, which is tied into the Ed Warren side of the family.
Okay.
Okay.
And I found a cousin in Florida, and she was able to trace it all together that we're all related. She ended up being my double cousin. She's related to my mom too.
Oh wow. Have you ever been to the Conjuring House?
No, we got an invite with Keith and Carl Johnson to go out there with them.
We, we got to go.
Yeah, we're
Think of all
planning on
think of all what we could stir up there.
Oh, stop.
going. Yeah, right.
What do you mean stop, man? Stir something up. Go talk to somebody. Hey, spirits, we're back. Hey, talk to me.
Right. That's on our bucket list to go do the Conjuring House.
I will tell you a quick little story about Andrea. So the first time I met her, we were up at Mackinac Island on another Strange Escapes. I think we went on like 12 of them. But we were up there, and the first time I met Andrea, she had her books for sale, the trilogy House of Darkness, House of Light, right? Which is completely, I won't say completely, but it's a whole lot different than the Conjuring movie because that was made for television, right? It was all Hollywoodized. But I buy her books, I bring them home. Sorry, I'm a little nasally.
That's okay.
I had started reading the book, and Mike plays pool on Monday nights, and I was at work. I had to work late. Came home, it's around 7 o'clock, and I walk in the front door, come in the hallway, and in the living room, there's this swirling mass. And I'm like,
Right.
oh my God, there's a fire. There's a fire. So I throw open the back door, get the dogs outside. I call Mike and I said, oh my God, the house is on fire. There's this big gray mist and I can't find the alarm's not going off. I don't know what's going on. And then I got the dogs back in, come in, and I start Googling, and it talks about manifestations. And I'm like, oh my God. And I text Andrea and I said, so I have this thing in my living room that's swirling, hand to God, swirling around. And she says, oh, my dear, are you reading my book? And I said, I'm only on chapter 3. She said, it's just trying to manifest in your home. I'm like, nope, 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 nope. So I was telling my assistant at work. So she's like, oh, just give me the book and I'll read it and get it out of your house for a while. I'm like, okay. Russell, her house burned down.
Oh wow.
So I'm like, No, I did order another one. I've not opened it up. I've not finished reading them. No, they're in a nice little. They've got rose quartz on them. They've got lavender. They're packed away all nice and good with a lot of good juju. I don't need anything manifesting. We got 2 men here in our house that hang out. It's okay. That's enough. Ain't got room
I
for
have as well too. So.
So be careful when you go to the Conjuring House and have stuff manifest on you. Don't take her book. Don't take her book. I mean, buy her book for sure. Yes. Buy her books. Buy the trilogy.
But store the book.
But store them safely or read them in a church or something.
I just got rid of a haunted object at Metacon. I brought a haunted mask to John Zaffis.
Oh.
What'd you do with it?
Yeah, it's in John's museum.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's in his museum. Okay.
I had it all encased in this container. It had holy water on it, everything. It come out of a client's house.
What happened? What did it do? What made it haunted?
Well, she was laying there in bed taking a nap, and she woke up to something trying to enter her mouth.
Mm.
Ugh.
And then her granddaughter seen someone that looked like her while the grandma was taking a nap, walk out the front door. And then she had the fire department called to her house because the cops had seen it looked like smoke coming from her roof. They thought her house was on fire.
That's bizarre.
It is.
Once she took it out of there, she owns the movie theater that we investigate that was on Dead Files. So we were there that one weekend, so she brought the mask to me and gave it to me. And I held on to it for a while, and I brought it to John at Medicon.
Did anything happen while you had it?
No, because I kept it encased. I didn't open the case. It had holy water on it, and we had a cross on the front of it, so nothing would escape in case it was something bad.
Yeah, it's good to protect it like that for
Yeah.
sure. I think the only haunted object we have, Mike's deceased mom has a baby doll. She told me her name's Rebecca. She's been pretty cool. We take her as a trigger object to some locations to see if the kids will get engaged with her.
Yeah.
She's really sweet. So,
I've got some other stuff I took from another house they were practicing demonic worshiping with. And they had a book on
oh,
witchcraft and how to sacrifice people, and
what?
yep, they were using a Buddhist sing bowl for demonic practices.
So, are you a demonologist or do you know demonologists?
No demonologist. I work with Farrah Rose Perry out of Springfield, Missouri, who used to be Farrah Rose Deal.
Okay,
Okay.
interesting.
Her and
Well,
her husband Kenneth Deal used to do quite a bit. They've been on the show A Haunting.
Hmm.
They've done their own shows. Ken's been in several documentaries and movies, and they've got several books out.
Have you ever encountered a demon yourself?
Oh yeah,
Really?
yep.
where?
Oklahoma.
Oh, God, don't say that. I was born in Oklahoma. Where? Where?
Trail of Tears. We did a house out there,
Huh.
and that's where they were doing the demonic practices out there.
Well,
Oh, okay.
And what happened was our DVR camera we had set up in the one hallway was sitting there flickering, so I figured it was just a static issue. So we just kept watching it, figuring it'd clear up. Well, this black figure appeared that was probably about 6'5".
gee.
So I went back there, and it was only my dad and I because the rest of my team couldn't make it for that one. But we went down there because they had kids in the house, and this figure come running straight at me, dropped down to like 5 foot, and then just disappeared at my legs. And I ended up with 3 scratches on my arm.
Oh, wow.
And I still have the scars on my bicep from it.
What? Wow, that's pretty deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Of all the investigations we've done, I bet we've done 300
Yeah.
at least. Run across some grumpy old ghosts, that always say get out or something, but
Elementals, creepy crawlers.
elementals, but never
Never a
what I would
demon.
consider. Besides, one time when we were at Belvoir, I think
Sounded
Sam had a visitor come home with us,
Rick.
who through our Alexa, she said she walked in the room and this male voice out of my Alexa goes, "Hey, baby," and
I'm sorry, I don't mean to correct you, but no.
That was that one.
No, that was my grandpa
that was your grandpa.
came through that said, "Are you up?" Rick came through when you were again at pool. He plays pool several nights a week.
Of course.
I was in the bed. I was on my iPad. The dogs were in there, and this audible voice says, "Hey, baby," and I was like, "What?" The dogs jump up. They're barking, going crazy. We had just spent the weekend at Belvoir Winery, and then the dogs went crazy. I looked outside, didn't see anything, come back to bed, heard it again audibly. Hey, baby. What? I grabbed the K2, I grabbed the gun, and I'm looking under the bed. I'm looking outside. The gate's locked. There's nobody in our backyard. The dogs are going crazy still because they can't find what's going on. So I put the K2 on Mike's pillow because that the sound came from that side of the bedroom. And we just started having a conversation. I'm like, you got to go. You got to go back. You're not permitted here. It took us a while, but the seat was depressed. You know, when in some of the cars, the back seat light will be on when somebody's sitting in this, without a seat belt all the way.
And the cool part was, Russell, do you know who John Tenney is?
Yep.
Okay. I don't, for your viewers that don't, he used to have his own show called Ghost Stalkers. And
with Chad Lindbergh.
And I've always thought he's such a great guy. If he doesn't know it about the paranormal, it hadn't been written yet. So I'm talking to John, saying, John, how can we protect our house? He goes, do this. So I'm listening with, okay, tell me. Go to the nearest railroad crossing and get 4 railroad ties and put them in the 4 corners of your lot.
Right.
Okay. So I go down to
with a little blessing.
With a little bit. I go down to the nearest railroad crossing. I start walking the tracks in the middle of the crossing, away from the crossing, just walking down the tracks looking for railroad spikes. I walk maybe 20, 25 yards, not a spike in sight.
He calls me and he said, I can't
find any.
I said, they've got to be there. Just keep walking.
So I turn around and walk back. There must have been 50 spikes in plain sight. I don't know where they came from. I mean, I'm not exaggerating. They were all over the place. And I swear on my deathbed that when I walked down the middle of the tracks, looking on both sides of the tracks, nothing. And yet when I turned around and walked back, every 2 inches, there's a spike laying on the ground. So I got my 4, pounded them in the ground. House has been quiet ever since. So
except for the 2 guys that are here. They're nice. They'll leave the toilet seat up, which I don't appreciate in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
But
so that's like, I tell people not everything is demonic. A lot of it's just an angry ghost. I mean, you're trespassing in their area.
Right. Yeah. People, I try to tell people, just because they say get out doesn't mean they're, a demon. It just means that maybe we've interrupted them doing something and they don't like it and they want us to get out. So
that's they own the property before and they got a bunch of people come wandering in. You're trespassing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sometimes it's just sitting down and having that conversation with them so that you can coexist. Like the 2 old men, the heavier set man, he used to hang out in the bedroom all the time, mess with my hair, lean up against the dresser and knock it against the wall. My girlfriends that have stayed here have seen him, the tall, thin man sitting in the rocking chair in the living room that we dedicated to my mom.
Yeah.
But he likes to sit in that chair. And one of them, I'm not sure which, but if we're sitting up here having a discussion, you'll hear one of them from the basement coming up the stairs. They'll yell and say, "Hey." So it's like, cut it off. Just stop it. No discussions, which is kind of funny. We haven't had those discussions in a while, so we haven't heard "hey" in a while.
That's true.
We haven't. But it was quite often when that was going on.
What was going on? It was. Yeah. That's why I got the railroad spikes. So I'm willing to try anything. What the heck? I don't know if it's going to work or not until I actually do it.
Yeah, exactly.
It was just so funny walking up and down tracks and complaining to her, I can't find any. And then I hang up and turn around and I felt like an idiot. Like, oh my God, there they are everywhere. Who knows?
It's all experimental.
Yeah. I'll tell you, you either have to come to an event or we're going to have to figure out how to hook up and go investigate a place together.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
get the feeling that would be a riot. That would be good.
Oh, yeah.
I could always bring in the cadaver dogs. What the heck?
No.
No, I couldn't.
We'll work out something after the show.
I can bring my dog, but he just lays around and eats
He's a big
sleep.
couch potato.
He is. He'll only like you if you have a treat in your hand. Otherwise, you're totally ignored. Trust me, I know. Where'd he go?
Mine will sit there and growl at you.
Well, you have a baseball cap on. He is not a fan.
Oh.
He's a mutt. He's a shelter dog. We rescued him, and he was abused by
pretty
some
sure
guys. So he doesn't
in a baseball hat.
Yeah, he doesn't do guys in baseball hats.
Makes him nervous. He won't growl, won't bark. It is go away very quickly.
Right.
Yeah. Other than that,
what's the crazy experience you've ever had?
Can I? Well, there's a few, but can we do the Villisca one?
Sure.
On the way to Villisca.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This we weren't even at. We're on the way to Villisca
with some friends. Stephanie O'Reilly, who owns McIntyre Villa, and our friend Peggy, who she's a tour guide at Alexander Majors here in Kansas City.
Which is a haunted location. We just ran an event there a couple weeks ago.
Our friend Lisa.
Yeah.
Lisa.
So I'll set it, and then she can explain it. Okay. On the way to the event, you have to go through a town. It's really St. Joe, and there's an antique store.
Yeah.
And it's kind of
the green frog.
It's not really raining, but it's misty. And we said, we're early. Let's pull in, take a look. Wow. So, and I love antique stores because I'm a book collector. So we pulled in.
Well, before we got there, it's key to know that we went to Quick Trip and got a bottle of water.
Yeah.
And my key fob, because I have a fob, not an actual key, my fob is on my wallet. So I paid for my water, filled up the car with gas, got my bottle of water. We get in the car and we get to the Green Frog or whatever that antique store is. And it hadn't been too long. I'd recently lost my mother just in the last couple of years, and it's still very fresh. She was my best friend outside of Mike. And walking through the antique store, these songs start playing that were favorites of my mom's that she used to sing. And I could just feel her around me. I saw things that were in her home, in our home when I was growing up. And it was just, I found this mother of pearl frog. So we go to check out. I pay for the mother of pearl frog. I come back to the car and I lift the car and it unlocks. I'm like, holy crap, where's my key fob? Because I didn't have to click to open the car door. And
supposedly it was locked. Yeah.
I looked in the back seat and it's like, because I only took my wallet in, I didn't take my purse. We had the $400 for Martha to finish paying for the Villisca house. And I'm like, my purse is there. Nobody stole anything. What's going on? We're going to have to go back in and look for my fob. And so I pick up the water bottle and there's a ring sitting on top of my key fob.
In the cup holder. But what makes this story so bizarre is I told Mike, I said, what's this ring? I said, is this your ring? It was what? It's the wedding ring I lost about 2 years ago.
It was 3. It's 3 years ago.
I lost it. And all of a sudden it's in her.
But what's key is we bought his wedding ring in my hometown where my mom lived.
Yeah.
Okay. And it was just weird.
How does it get into a cup holder of a car that we didn't even own when I bought the ring?
Or when you lost it.
When I lost it. And it's being used while we were going to St. Joe. So there was nothing in the cup holder.
But the fob was on my wallet.
Yeah.
At Quick Trip.
So I got my ring back.
But it's so weird. So how does that happen? Did she just pop it back into our reality? She found it and she just popped it so that we could have it because she knew how much it meant. I mean, that's one of the most bizarre. While it's not a ghostly story, it feels like a John Tenney story, realm of the weird. I still can't
explain it. Seriously, because how do you?
Yeah.
Now, as for actual
spirit,
ghostly, ghost hunter weirdness, or you'd have to come up.
I've got one. Do you want to know the one?
Go right ahead.
Limp.
Oh God, yeah.
So
The Limp Mansion in St. Louis. Have you ever been there?
I've never been there, but I've heard a lot of stories.
You got to go. You got to
Russell,
go.
you got to go. You got to go.
We just did it one night when one of her girlfriends from Pennsylvania came in. We were going to do a 3-day trilogy. Go to the Limp, go to the Cheney Mansion in Jerseyville, which you have to go through Alton, Illinois. You know, Troy Taylor's home.
Yeah.
And then go to Ashmore Estates. So the first stop is the Limp Mansion. So we get there. You can't check in your room until about 10:30 because there's a ghost, not a ghost hunt. And so we paid for it. So we joined the ghost hunt. Pretty cool. A lot of fun.
Got a lot of stuff.
Whatever.
Shadows on the thing.
It was cool. It gets done about 10:30. We check into the room and you go.
So we met ladies there, obviously, and we're all into crystals and we're all into paranormal things.
Yeah,
we met them right across the room. We were in Charles something room and they were in the lavender room and we were talking.
Just right across from us.
And Mike had met this chick at the bar who thought he was Mr. Moneybags. And
she's kind of hot. She thought I was rich and I didn't let her think any differently. And she was with her boyfriend.
She was a hooker. Let's just be honest.
Mm-hmm.
She was the lady of the night. Everybody's got to make a living. No,
go on.
No judgment. But here's the thing. Somewhere around, we had a really active night, and somewhere around 3:34, we decided to call it a night, go to bed. I don't sleep well when we go out of town. I just need my bed, my pillow, my comforts. My space.
I'll toss and turn for 20 or 30 seconds.
Yeah. So as I'm laying there, I know it's about 5:00 because my friend Liz Beck, who lives in Cleveland, Ohio. She had texted me that morning and I was texting her back and telling her what's going on. Well, a few minutes later, after I'd hung up the phone with her, I'm like, okay, it's time to go to sleep. And to my right, this torso of a woman comes out of the wall. Well, we had been talking to her all night long. And then a few minutes later, her whole body comes out. And just seconds after that, it starts raining in our room. And you're like, raining in your room?
No, I mean downpour.
The chick who was hitting on him was up in the room up above us. She had passed out in the bathtub at 3:00 in the morning. And the bathtub was spilling over into our floor.
She never turned it off. She never turned it off.
So our ceiling started buckling and it started pouring down at the foot of our bed at 6:00 in the morning.
I mean, pouring.
So it was so weird with the timing with that lady coming out of the wall and then the water started coming. It was almost like a release of things because it was just paranormal.
I'm sleeping on my stomach with, like this. And and all of a sudden Sam's going, Mike, get up.
I'm like, man, oh my God, it's raining in our room.
I snap up and I'm going to turn around expecting to see a ghost because I just know she sees one and I'm going to see one. And I flip around and I see a waterfall. I'm going, what the hell? What is going on? It's a waterfall coming down on my feet.
It went all the way down into the basement, and they had just finished the mural on the first main floor in the dining room. $100,000 mural, ruined,
destroyed,
all came down. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Sorry, I probably took up a lot of time with that story.
That was a funny story. I mean, it wasn't funny at the time because we went to our next investigation with no sleep.
I can imagine.
We couldn't stay there, and we had the firemen said get out, so we had to get out.
Yeah.
What's one of your favorite locations to investigate?
My favorite one was Waverly.
Okay.
What's your second favorite?
Second is Missouri State Penitentiary.
Yep.
That's a good one. That's a good one. But you almost have to do it on a private because if you go on their tours, it'll drive you insane with 40, 50 people trooping around.
Yeah, we did the private overnight.
Yeah. So where'd you have the experience?
Dungeon cells.
Yep.
Yep. Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
We heard a woman. I was filming on my camera. We heard a woman as we were setting up say, "Hello." And we thought maybe somebody came down the cell block looking for us because we were with another team. So we went, look, nobody.
Nobody? Is that where we had a rock thrown at
The
us?
first time, the first cell we walked into, because Mike's Mr. Personality, he's always getting talked to by spirits. We have an EVP of a woman saying, "Hi, Mike." It's like, okay.
Okay. Let's
But
talk.
later in the night, we were up on the second floor of the women's cell, and a rock, I kid you not, you can hear it. I'll have to send you the audio, or maybe I'll upload it.
Yeah.
But you can hear it goes,
You can hear it whistle by our heads.
and
You
it
can
goes,
hear it.
well, hold on. It goes,
Yeah.
and then a few seconds later, it goes, pop, pop, pop. And our friend Chris went and picked it up, and it's like you could fit it in the whole palm of your hand. Where did that come from? Just out of nowhere. And we wouldn't have captured it if Kristen hadn't have been videotaping in the dark while we were walking around. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Well, we had another experience. We were we're right above the dungeon cells in the cell house up there, and I think it's cell house 4, the old part of the prison. And I was walking the catwalks up top because one of the team members that were with us seen a black shadow darting in and out of the cells. So I went up there to go check it out. So I started pacing the catwalks. And prior to that, we went to dinner with this other team, and my dad goes to her, "You're going to get touched tonight."
Oh.
So I'm up on the catwalks, and I'm right above them, and I hear her say, "God damn it, something just touched me on the leg." And I said to her, I said, "Don't take it offensive. You're a female in a men's cell block."
Yeah.
And that was the same
Trigger
cell
object.
house where they had Sunny Liston.
Trigger object. Yeah.
And then that's where the man got stabbed to death in his cell. They stabbed his eyes out, and he died on the catwalk up
Oh
top.
Lord.
Oh.
Oh Lord.
I guess he was a rat, so they caught him.
Mm.
And then another place we had a good experience was solitary, where the inmate got stabbed in front of the guard. We had the REM pod set out there, and we were sitting in front of the cells, and the REM pod was just going nuts.
Huh.
Yeah.
I know we were down there, but I don't remember anything happening in solitary.
What cell was it? We were in the building. Which building is it that got the roof blew off in the tornado?
That's 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we were down. We spent a lot of time in there because it's just, I don't know. It's a vibe. And the room with the bell, there's a room with the bell on it about midway down.
Yeah.
So we got chairs and we're sitting around there. I started out by myself first, just sitting there with the music box, and I like to use a candle. Yeah, that gas chamber. Oh my God,
Chris,
thank
thank
you. I'll have to tell that
Yeah.
one. But we were sitting there this last time we were there, and it started going off with responses. And it's like, okay. And then finally it's just, we started talking about strip poker. And then they got real excited, but it was more with Mike than it was
That's scary.
with the women. So it's like, okay, we know what that is. And I know Chris piped up about the gas chamber.
Tell it quick.
Yeah, we were there on a private, and we were there with Chris Stroessner and Anna Espinoza, and
two of our best investigators who helped us over the last year or two.
And they still help us with this. Anyway, so Anna and I are strapped in the gas chamber with, we were doing the Estes method, and the guys were outside the doorway asking us questions. Well, they heard stuff going on outside.
The whole parking lot sounded
empty.
like a crowd. And we're going, because there's nobody there. It was just us. It was empty. And Chris and I kept hearing people yak. So while they're under doing this, they don't know what we're doing. We just walk outside to see what's going on. Nobody. I swear to God, I heard it.
But while they're outside, Anna and I, we've got a rib pod in there. Now we're both strapped in blindfolds, Vic Firth headphones, because that's the only way I'll do Estes, because that's what Connor and Carl taught. Anyway, we can't hear anything. The REM pod had to be going off, but it's like we kept getting touched, and we kept saying very similar things when you play it back. And it was whatever hit us so hard. Something punched me on this arm, and something punched Anna on this arm. at the exact same time, and we're both flipping our headphones off.
And we're gone. They're looking at it. Where did they go?
We're like, where did you go? You left us here.
Well, we're still outside trying to find the crowd.
The REM pod screaming, everything was electric in there.
It was fun. It was really an odd.
It was intense. It was intense.
Yeah.
We didn't get really nothing in the gas chamber because there was too many of us in that group, and they take you down there all at once.
Yeah.
So we got a few hits on the spirit box. The one guy, Charlie, and I were in the gas chamber. We shut the door, and we had one tell us die.
Yeah.
That's not a good feeling.
No.
I walked out of there with a bruise on the inside of my arm right here. It looked like someone had taken a cigarette and went like that on my arm.
Oh, gosh. I don't think... Do you get touched or scratched very often?
Not very often. It doesn't happen every time I go out. Very seldom. But we were up in the solitary cells where they had James Earl Ray and all them.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
And we were walking the catwalks up there, and you can hear cell doors slamming in front of us.
Oh.
But all the cell doors are staying still. They're not even moving.
Oh, okay.
So is that residual, you think?
Yeah, it's residual.
Yeah.
And then we ended back in the dungeon cells down there, and we set up motion lights, music box in front of the one cell, and then motion lights all down the hallway. And I stood by the last one, so I was playing like a guard, telling Firebug he's in the wrong cell. He needs to come out of there. And the music box goes off, and then next light, next light, next light. We had a newbie with us that this was her first ever investigation.
Oh, wow. That's an intense place to go for your first time.
That is.
She's standing there, and she's watching these motion lights, and then it gets to the last one right where I'm standing. And she just starts freaking out because I'm just standing there normal. It's not bothering me. And she's trying to figure out how it's not bothering me. She's freaking out. My members are laughing. They're like, this is what we do.
Oh, man.
Yeah. It's like, I made that post earlier. It's like, people want to be investigators, but then they're afraid of the dark. It's like, then it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense.
If you're afraid of the dark, it might be a little hard to become a good investigator.
Yeah.
So, sometimes I tell people the best way to investigate is find yourself a place to sit and let the world come to you. Don't force it. It'll happen. Just sit there and let the world come to you. It'll happen.
That's what I like to do. I like to go in a spot and just sit quiet for a while and just listen to the atmosphere, use my senses.
Yeah, a lot of people don't have the patience to do that anymore, and I think it's a great way to investigate. Remember the kids off of Destination Fear, which is now Project Fear? That's how they did a lot of their investigations, and I think it's really a neat way to get involved with whatever location you're in, to get interaction, whatever. It's awesome.
Right.
So tell all these investigators, listen to us, patience, my friends, patience.
Yep. They don't work on cue. You got to be.
It's a true story, isn't it?
They do not.
That is there is no such thing as on demand button.
Nope.
So,
not like you see on TV.
God knows something happens every 3 minutes, and they scream. How many times have you screamed when you got a good EVP or heard a sound? No.
I
No.
Especially when you're in a client's house, you don't want to be doing that because they're already there.
That might be kind of true.
Exactly.
Of course, I'm not on TV either, and if I was making $1 million, I might scream just because I like the $1 million. But that didn't happen anytime soon.
I don't think
That's
so.
like we still make that running joke about Brian from Ghost Hunters. Dude, run! And they weren't.
I had forgotten that. Yeah.
Yes, awesome. Yeah, that's cool. That's kind of funny. Yeah.
But if you ever go back to Waverly, I'll tell you a little experiment to try.
Okay.
When you go up in the 4th floor surgery room,
Been
got
there.
they've got they got that metal table there.
Yep.
Right.
Been on it.
Wheel yourself on. Have someone wheel you under the light and play like you're acting sick, like you're coughing, and you will get results from it.
Oh wow. Okay.
we did it, and my one member was saying, "We need a doctor. He needs help," and I was
Mhm.
acting like I was coughing, and we had a motion light sitting in the doorway. Well, the motion light kicked on.
Oh,
So I go to sit up. I couldn't move. I was being restrained to the table,
Oh,
really?
wow.
Oh, wow.
We didn't
and
have that. Something hit the table on it though. Anna and I, Chris, who's on there,
Yeah.
Anna and I were on the table, and something hit the
Sit at the
table.
table. I remember
We
that.
weren't held down, but it got.
We'll have to try that.
Yeah, yeah.
Seriously.
then
I'm
we heard
with
two loud screams, female screams, right in the hallway.
Oh, cool.
And my initiative was we were with another team. They had females with us. I said, text that other team, find out where they're at. They were up on the 5th floor out on the roof
Oh
doing
wow.
an Estes method.
So nobody was screaming.
No.
Okay.
And then we were walking back because, you can only investigate till like 4 a.m. So we're walking back to the 4th floor hallway. Well, this white figure comes running directly at us, flies in between a member and I. We both see it, and it was gone as fast as it went through us.
When the first time we went there, we were down in the cafeteria area, and I was doing Estes, and it used to be where they had couch and chairs in there, which now they have like the auditorium style set up in there, I believe. But I was facing the far side of the building where I could see the third, fourth, and fifth floors. And at the time, we were told we could not go up to the 4th or the 5th floors.
That was
It was years ago.
Visit,
it was years ago.
Years ago.
But while we're sitting there, it's like they're all facing me. But while I'm looking out, after I came out of Estes, I'm looking out. There's this large, like illuminated amber basketball ball. I don't know what's the big beach balls.
Beach ball.
And it's like bouncing through the walls, going from floor to floor. I had never in my life seen anything like that. I don't know if that was just a big, massive ball of energy, because I'd always heard and seen Greg and Dana had been there where there's some kind of entity that's not very nice on the 4th floor. So I don't know. It was wild. I've never seen anything like it since.
Yeah.
You guys see the creeper?
Yes. He followed us out.
Yeah. I'm walking out just kind of glad it's over because I've been a little creeped. And Sam goes, "Oh my, there's creepy crawlers on the ceiling." I go, "Oh."
No, I said I didn't quite say it like that. I'm like,
"Thanks, Sam."
Something is following us out.
Oh yeah, and you could. You could feel it.
It was palpable.
Seriously, yeah. Because I said, "You walk forward, I'm walking backwards. I want to be covered. I want you to see what's coming. I'll tell you what's coming." But it was creepy.
I did see the creeper when we started off. He was up on the catwalks out there where the sister's room was.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
He was at the far end of the hallway. Well, my one member, she went to smoke. So I just milled around while we were waiting on her. And I said to my other member, I said, "Come here." And I showed it. I said, "You keep the camera pointed that way." And I went towards him. And as fast as I did, he went down over the catwalk wall down to the next floor.
Oh, wow. Not that you were going to jump over it. You could have ran down the stairs, though.
Yeah, I could have.
You could have.
And we had a loud, mysterious bang come out of nowhere. We didn't know. We couldn't find where it came from.
Do you guys play music when you're there? The sisters really like music. They had told us they liked music. And so we played, and a couple danced. It did.
Yeah. Where was that room that had the throne in it?
That was chair. On the lower level.
It's on the lower
level.
That was the one room that I was really uncomfortable.
That's the grumpy old man.
Is that the grumpy old man? Because they had like a red velvet chair at the time that we were.
Yeah.
And it was just a really nasty vibe in there.
Geez, that was 8 years ago. Yeah,
it was. Ugh.
Yeah, we were there in 2021. Yeah. We went out in May with another team.
2017.
We were there last year.
Well, we were there last year, but our first year was 2016 or 17.
Somewhere through there.
So it's been a while. But we were just there last year, yeah.
We didn't get nothing out of room 502. We tried to recreate, do the motion light things. We didn't get no activity up there. There was all the fourth floor and downstairs, the body chute, the morgue. I slid into the morgue thing head first. Our tour guide told us, he says, lay in there for 15 minutes, have your members stand out in the hallway. I said, I'll do you one better. I'll stay in there for 2 hours. And he was watching on the security camera. He's got a camera pointed right at that.
Oh, man.
And I had the K2 by my head, the millimeter sitting on my chest, and we had a Boo Bear setting on one of the tables, the embalming tables. And they were all going off. And I captured an EVP out of there saying, what are you doing?
Mm.
Good one.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then we went down to the body chute, because the challenge is to do the body chute at 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
So we did the body chute at 3 a.m., went all the way to the bottom. And we heard that metal gate up top slam, so I yelled out, hello, figuring maybe one of the other team was coming down at us. No answer. And we started snapping pictures, and you see this black mass just started filling up the whole body chute coming down at us.
We saw something. Our lead investigator for Epic Events was down
At the bottom
with a guy named Kyle. They were down there, and we were up at the top
very
with
top.
Chris and Anna, and there was a weird light anomaly that was.
It was about the size of a tennis ball.
It was like walking up the stairs.
Yeah, it just kept coming right, and then it kind of go from side to side.
But if you went towards it, it would go back down.
Yeah.
And we tried to see if it was a reflection off of somebody's watch. It wasn't. It was the craziest thing. And as we were getting ready to pack up and go, Erica and Kyle were down there, and a male voice said Erica while they were down at the base of the body chute.
Yeah.
Wasn't her or Kyle, either one. It was audible. It was Erica.
Yeah.
It was really active. The fifth floor was crazy. We talked to kids. Chris caught some EVPs. I think we got them just even on our phone. We got
I think
EVPs
we did. Yeah.
of little kids playing up there.
Mm-hmm.
You ever decide to go back, just give us about a 30-minute notice. We'll be on the road.
All right. We want to go back.
That is a good place. Yeah, I like that place.
We got people that would go for sure.
Oh, yeah. Have you ever been to Ashmore?
No, we haven't been there yet.
You got to go. That is a wonderful place. Are you going to sit by yourself there?
We got 2 tickets left.
Oh, we have 2 tickets left?
We have 2 tickets left for Ashmore, and then we're sold out there.
Yeah. You sit by yourself anywhere in that place, something will happen.
It's great.
It is a great place. Yeah.
We only go to great places. What do I say?
That's a true story.
Well, we reached our hour mark. I got another show coming on after me. It was great having you guys on. And
thank you.
Thanks for having
us.
us.
How old of you that want to go to your events?
Go ahead.
We're the Mysterious Mike and Sam on Eventbrite. Our Facebook page is Epic VIP Events, the Mysterious Mike and Sam. All of our events are listed out there as well.
We're running a contest. Let them know about that.
We currently are. Like and share and follow us. And on April 1st, we'll be giving. We'll be sending you some little ghostly gifts.
A swag bag that is some really nice stuff inside the bag. And all you have to do is come to our page, like it, and share.
Well, they got to follow the rules. That's not exactly
it. You'll
yeah.
see the rules up on the page. I condensed it, so you read it for yourself. But thanks for having us, man, and looking forward to seeing you shortly.
Nice chatting with you.
You're welcome. We're going to end the stream here. We'll see you guys all next week. Thank you for tuning in. And stay humble, stay safe out there.